You have heard, I suspect, of the Rings of Power. Their birth in the dark, smoldering depths of Mount Doom is well known. Beyond the One Ring mythos, and even, I dare say, predating it, is the story of another power, the Seven Sword Stands. It is whispered that not even the Ring could have resisted their call. You've never heard of the sword? You mean
You've never heard of the Sword Stands of Power, really? Well, I started making them last week, the first one. They all have names, and there are 6 others. First one is the Destruction. It's got that, hey, don't touch my sword vibe. Or Pirates of the Caribbean. Skeletor? And then the Fortress. This looks familiar. Where have I seen something like this before? What? It's a sword stand. Doesn't look like one? Okay, maybe more traditional. A sword on a sword stand. The Honor. The Lordling. You got your shanty, little outpost, or a modest chateau. Might be haunted. Quest. Because a story like this needs to be centered around a quest. Moonlight. Sorry, these are all a little bit sketchy, but there's only so many hours in the day to draw these up. And then finally, the one I started last week. The Doom. Frightening. Alright guys, while I show you the process of finishing The Doom, I will tell you now a little of the 7 Sword Stands by Matt Hall. That's me. Rays of moonlight formed the first of the 7, it is said, though how it is possible I cannot say. She was neither angel nor stone, but bearing the appearance of both, she came upon a certain sword, in the days of Ganria, the High King. The blade, though a mere relic, decrepit, and of little value, even locked in a secret vault in the mountainside, began speaking in whispers to her, the very night the moonlight shone upon her, and she drew her first breath. It called out, "Moonlight, moonlight," for she had no other name, and she unfurled her silver wings, which were like the tremendous branches of the Taranclatch tree in the springtime. The blade began to whisper promises of valor and tales of redemption and memories of love, and she sought out the sword's hiding place without delay. She took no rest to eat or slumber as she hunted the sword in the mountains of Belgaris. Night and day she flew above the tops of the fir trees and urgently listened for the sword, paying no heed to the army encamped in the forest beneath her. She was not yet acquainted with them, or their sharp implements of war and terror. She swept the cliffs of the high caverns, gliding ever nearer the drone of the enchanting call until she found it, an ancient entryway, guarded by a single armored sentry. As moonlight swooped to the ground before him, instantly spreading her wings defensively, she perceived that the soldier standing guard would not prevent her passing. He could not. Silent and still as the mountain itself, the sentry was made of stone. While pausing to consider what may have happened to the sentry, or even how long ago, a raspy voice bellowed from within the mountain, "Help me, please. Make haste, fair moonlight." She, having no apprehensions about the darkness within the cavern, or the strange voice that was carried on the wind, tucked her silver wings behind her and stepped over the threshold. That's all we have time for. Wake up! It's over. I heard you snoring. Alright, that's enough. Hey, if you feel like contributing to the channel, feel free to join me on Patreon. Alright guys, be well, my friends.